Hey everyone, welcome to the Hapori Podcast, episode 12. I'm Thatchmac.
I am Otto Van Dom.
I'm Rangus.
I'm Bionic Asai.
And I'm Eljay.
Whoa, holy smokes!
Well,
Oh my gosh, hi LJ.
How's it going?
going pretty good. How about you, my dude?
Mm-hmm.
It is going. It has been an adventure.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome to the podcast, LJ. Thank you for being on. It's greatly appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
Woo! Awesome. But yeah, so mentioned it's been a little bit of a roller coaster the past week or so, so we should probably get into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say LJ or if you want one of us to say.
Sure, no, I can go over it.
All right.
So, as of past week, it is official. I'm no longer an affiliate and or member of the TTV channel and or its parent company, Pandemic Panda. They made a statement. First, I announced it on Twitter. Then they made a statement on the boards. And then I made a video kind of following everything up on my own channel. And yeah, like I said in the video, in layman's terms, I was fired.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a variety of reasons to that, which I explain in the video.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was insane because we first saw it. I think it was Wednesday when you put it on Twitter, and somebody, I don't remember who, somebody posted it in chat, and it was crazy.
Asai, I think.
Yeah,
No.
it was. Was it Renzo? It was Renzo, right? I think it was
Think
Renzo.
so.
But still, it doesn't matter because it was incredibly shocking. Like, I didn't really believe it at first. I didn't know if it was real. It was like it came so out of nowhere. Like nobody was really expecting it. Then it was just a waiting game to see the updates and everything, and yeah, slowly everything came through, and it's crazy to see. I don't know. It's just insane. You guys have been there for so long, and now all of a sudden it just broke up so fast and so sudden.
Yeah, no, it was sudden. Like, I know it was sudden for everyone, and I'm sure there were some people who are like, haha, very funny, guys, because everybody had joked, like, haha, okay, LJ, you're fired, fired 17 times this week, or even the April Fool's joke from, I don't even know when at this point, maybe 2015, when I was, quote-unquote, fired, and then I came back with TTE, the 3 LJs. But no, it's 100% official. Happened very quickly. I know it caught everyone off guard.
Can I ask? I don't want to seem like I'm being rude or anything. I was going to say this anyway. Like, if, and I'm pretty sure everyone would be like this, if we ask anything too, personal about the situation, anything, just, But I'm curious how your initial reaction to that was, because from what you said, like how everything happened, it just happened out of nowhere. So I'm quite curious how you reacted to that situation when it first happened.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I obviously can't go into. They've said that they're not going to go into it because it's a lot of personal interactions and whatnot, and it really when it happened, it was shocking. And it happened very, relatively speaking, quickly. And it just kind of came as a shock. It's like, well, that was something. And then after it had actually happened, I got scrubbed fast. Cast page removed, affiliated videos removed. I wonder, have they updated the banner, YouTube banner?
Yeah, that'll be it must be horrible for yourself though.
Yeah, no, I got removed off of anything possible. It seemed, but
Wow.
But yeah, so it was just kind of a shock because I wasn't just removed from the channel and channel dealings. I was removed from the group where we all would just kind of chat and talk and play games and whatnot. So it was a complete and utter removal.
I think that's the part that really hit the hardest for me. I can say is the fact that not only were you officially fired from TTV, but you were kicked out of the group of friends that you've been talking to for a bunch of years, which is really unfortunate. I can't imagine what that was like. But I've heard that you're still talking to a few of them, especially Messinac.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still talking. I've been contacted by a few of them. And yeah, I talk to Meso still pretty much as I have been, which is great. But there are a lot of layers to this.
Yeah.
It's a very... To say it's an easy, straightforward situation, it would not be possible. It is very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of facets to it. But, and it sucks. It really does.
Yeah, it would be.
But, on the bright side, like I said, I'm really looking forward to doing things. It's a very... I'm out there on my own. I have a lot of opportunities, a lot of options right now. A lot of things have opened up. And I have a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're no longer functioning as a member of a group. You're functioning as just you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is really cool. And I think I do. The first thing I thought after it happened was, wasn't like, well, why did it happen? It was, well, is Eljay still going to be in the community? And luckily you are, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to see what you're going to do in the future. I'm really excited because obviously being with TTV, you've become like trained and you've gotten the equipment needed to make some pretty high quality videos. So I feel like you can end up being, a really big part of, like BioTube and everything like that with just your channel as is. And I feel like out of like everybody who are a part of the Three Virtues, you are probably the most likely to succeed by yourself.
That's a sentiment that I've been seeing a lot of. Basically, a lot of what you said.
Yeah, I've seen that
has
as
been
well in
what
the comments of
people are saying.
Oh, sorry, my apologies.
Oh no, please continue. Go ahead.
It's that like I've just checked on the channel there, and what I've noticed is the comments are just flooded like obviously about yourself and etc. And the kind of dislike ratios went up quite a bit. Which, you know what I mean? Like, all the comments are just, like, about this situation. It's not about, like, the actual video itself, so... I've checked on other ones as well, with the rest of... Like, I'm pretty sure most of you are in the podcast talking about stuff, and it's still the same. Like, the comments are just talking about the situation, so...
Yeah. There's been a massive amount of support. It's been greatly appreciated.
That must be the best feeling as well.
It is. It's very nice, to see that people still want to stick around. And there was a lot of concern whether or not I'd be in the community, and I will be. I'll still be in the Bionicle community, the Lego community as a whole. So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. I'm happy, it's happened, and I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do in the future. Sounds like you've got some really good plans. So that's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to all of that. And already, out of the situation like this happened, you're on our podcast now and everything. So it's pretty cool. Like, there have been some really good things, and I think the future for you, at least, I think is actually looking pretty bright.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, absolutely. It's obviously it's still everything's kind of a shock. It's kind of a new norm now, and so it's just a matter of getting used to that and kind of getting into things again. Yeah. So, but it'll happen.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kasai said to me, well, this is in private chat anyway, that apparently, you're going to Brick Fair next year.
No, I wasn't sure.
Oh, right, fair enough.
I want to go.
Yeah.
I would love to, but it's way too early for me to actually discern whether I can or whether I should, or just a multitude of factors. So I'm not going to say absolutely not, because I would love to go. But I just need to wait and see.
It's definitely...
So I will announce it if I end up going.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. It's definitely, if you do go, it would definitely be a little bit of a weird situation, because I'm assuming that TTV will be going next year. So
it was up in the air for them, too.
It was?
Yeah. When I was there, it was very up in the air. So unless things have changed, like, right after I was gone, then I'm not sure.
Eljay's gone. Now we can get to go to Brick Fair. But I sure hope you can go to Brick Fair. Because talking to you was one of the highlights of Brick Fair. That was really awesome.
Oh, thank you. I remember it because I remember you approached me, and you were about to introduce yourself, and I was looking at you, and I was like, wait a second. Wait, I should know who this is. You said your name. I was like, that makes sense.
I know that was
Green
That
and
must
white.
be crazy for Thought.
yeah that
Like,
was
that must
like,
have been crazy.
It was insane because I went up there and I was like, hey, I'd like to introduce myself, and you're like, oh hi, and I was like, I'm Thatchmac, and then you were like, oh Thatchmac, and at that same moment Messinak turns around and is like, oh hey Thatchmac, and that I died right there. That was insane because
Yeah.
I expected, like, I mean, I knew, like, I was on your live streams and I was on the boards. I knew you probably know the name Thatchmac. I was not expecting Messinak to know me at all. So that was,
Yeah, a lot of times CTV would say that we read all of our comments, we read the message boards and we mean it, but I made it a very specific point to interact with people, to talk to people, to remember names. But you had the benefit of not only I remember your name, but I associated your name with a color scheme,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which you've done a great job of cementing.
Thank you. I remember I wore those clothes, the green. I was thinking, like, all right, I had a Thatchmac shirt on, and I tried my best to make it obvious that I was Thatchmac. And yeah, I appreciate saying the color scheme because I've been working my butt off to make sure that everything's green. Like, I'm trying really hard, like my shoes are green and everything's green for me right now. But yeah, so that was really cool. I was really cool talking to you, and I hope we can go next year so we can talk again. And I know next year, I know that like a lot more of the Hapori are likely to go. So it'd be cool if you could get to meet a lot more of us in person. But right now it's up in the air, but still, I hope you can go.
I'll tell you what, if I go, I'm going to be a vendor, so you can come hang out at my table. Give you a place to stay.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna need like a bastion to find the bastion of table.
Yeah,
A little
like,
safe haven.
from the sounds of it, we're gonna have a giant. Like, I'm gonna be going, and I'm gonna be a vendor, and Vanu is going again, and he's gonna be a vendor, and one of my other friends is going. So it sounds like we're gonna have a Hapori table there, a big old thing. So yeah,
Some like
Good.
over section. Have the
Good,
Hapori.
That is very good having a presence like that. It's very important for just community activities even.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was crazy when you guys showed up. I mean, there were so many people walking over there and talking to you. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Easily the highlight of both of those trips because it was like people formed kind of a semicircle. Because like in 2016, we were backed up against a wall, and we had the table behind us. Sorry, no, we had the table in front of us, and then we had the wall behind us, and we had to kind of come out from around the table. And there was like a line of people that were kind of cutting off the hallway. But this time, people just made like a semicircle, and it was just really awesome. A lot of fun.
Yeah. It was cool. But yeah.
No, it was definitely great. I hope to go again.
It seems like you're really comfortable around the community as well.
Oh yeah.
Which I noticed in the images, like what Thatch put of you and him. You just seem really comfortable.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Because I understand that for a lot of people it might be a bit, nerve-wracking approaching somebody that you want to talk to and that's been talking to a bunch of people and signing things and taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I really do not want to give off that impression that you cannot ever come up and say hi or just chat. Because I love just talking.
Yeah, your presence there, you were definitely very good, very confident, very easy to talk to. And I wish I was able to do that as much at like Brick Fair and stuff. But yeah, it definitely did a really good job.
Even like when you messaged me, like I freaked out at first, but then you're so chill. You're just so nice to talk to.
Yeah.
I think it was a surprise for all of us as well. Sorry, like when you took the first screenshot and put it in chat, we were all like, "Whoa!" Well, I wasn't. I was asleep. But once I woke up, I was like,
You were
"What is this?"
Everyone else was freaking out. But yeah, I remember we were all like, "Oh man, I wonder." I mean, like, because I sent you the message, or you got the comment, and it was like, and you sent the Skypes of Kasai and I were sent, and we are like, "Oh, now we got to wait until we hear from Eljay," and it's gonna, and Kasai's like, "Oh, it's gonna take forever," but when it happens, it's gonna be awesome. And then you message back like within the hour, and that was really good.
No, the only reason there was really a delay is because I'd just been swamped with notifications and messages and just a ton of things that I had to kind of manage and keep track of because there was so much coming in because it's it's a shock to everyone as much as it's me. And
I can only how many like comments and everything you get from everyone just saying like wishing you well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. Definitely something to get used to.
I know I said this before, but Hapori, the Hapori are here to help you whenever you need it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I wish this were on better circumstances. Like, this didn't just happen. Because I intended on being around while I was still at TTV and being here and having a good time with you guys. But of course, all this happened. It delayed that. And
yeah.
Whoa. What? Did you really?
Wow.
I intended, TTV or no, to reach out to you guys and be like, hey, if you guys ever want to do stuff, do stuff.
I remember when you put that comment on the actual Hapori channel, and we were all like, whoa. Everyone was like...
I was like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, everyone was like that.
Yeah, everyone was freaking...
It was shocking that...
I do think it meant a lot to all of us, like, at the Hapori.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad.
Eljay noted old Hapori, the newbies of...
Yeah, that was really cool. But, yeah. Should we go on to the next segment?
Yep.
Yeah. So...
You can lead the side.
So, Eljay has been going through some hard times, but another big part of the community has been going through some hard times. Jang recently received a threat of legal action to remove his Star Wars The Last Jedi set reviews.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is a fascinating situation.
Yeah, it's...
Has that ever happened before? Or...
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Lego has sent out cease and desist to people, and apparently Just Too Good had a legal issue with Lego and or Disney last year last 2 years, when he did the Star Wars Force Awakens set reviews.
Wait, who was this? Sorry.
Just Too Good.
Oh,
Just Too Good.
Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, so this has happened before.
The bug guy.
I know Just Too Good got the same thing this time too, because he made a video saying he wouldn't take him down.
Yeah. I think the reason why a lot of people are shocked by this is because, normally if you get a set early, you buy a set early from the store or whatever, it's in the store, and even if it's before the release date, if you buy it and it was put on shelves, that is the responsibility of the store owners and the people who work there. That's not your fault. They put them on early. So if you get that and buy it, then it's always been fair use to review it. That's always how it's like. It's like people will get sets early all the time and review them. I remember I got Onua Master, and I got them because they had the Masters up. It was 2014. They had the Masters up in December on eBay for a few hours, and I managed to grab Onua while it was still up. And I got him in mid-December, and I uploaded a review, and it was totally fair game, and that was way before their official release date. And this was only a few days, and it's just so crazy to see that Lego said no. And I think that it's not. I think that Lego's only doing this because and they mentioned an unnamed licensed person, and I think Disney has a lot to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the things that went through my mind when I first saw it was this must have really hurt Jang personally, because this was immediately after he received that personal package from Lego, that challenge package, that they even included a tablet, an iPad in it. So I feel that would have just kind of been a spit in the face after that gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's scary, every time, at least for a while now, whenever you get sets earlier, especially Star Wars sets, it's going to be a little scary in the future uploading reviews early, because Lego could now send you this thing. And I think Disney has a lot to do with this. I don't know, I'm not sure why Disney's doing this now, but it sounds like Disney told Lego hey, you can't have people getting the toys early and reviewing them or whatever. I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a few days, reviewing? Haven't they already been officially revealed? I'm pretty sure everybody already knows all the toys that are being released.
It's nothing secretive.
Wait, they haven't been revealed officially?
far as I'm aware, they were not officially revealed by Lego and or Disney. There were leaks, and there were high-quality images that had been data mined, but
wow. So
I don't recall an official announcement.
That's crazy. So
I think that was intended for Force Friday on September 1st.
They wanted a big Force Friday reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they wanted
and then
to
it was
look at
spoiled.
these.
I guess that makes a bit more sense, but
yeah,
still it kind of sucks. You can tell in his video he's really upset about it.
Yeah. Jane. Yeah, that's probably what they wanted was this big reveal, but I mean, it was spoiled. Like, I knew exactly what figures I was going to go in when I went into Force Friday. I was going to get the build of figures, and I knew what they all were, so it wasn't like, I don't know. But I guess, I think Jane mentioned that, he's not going to bring them to court on it. He wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to go reply to it. But he mentioned that if this was an illegal area, he said that he thinks he would win, and he would win under fair use.
Handedly.
Most likely.
Yeah. He also didn't want to risk, going up a giant.
Yep. The money and everything that would have to be caught, that he had to pay in order to fund that and everything, and you'd be going to court with Lego.
Whether it's valid or not, the threat exists, and in doing so, it forces compliance, and that, crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm worried for the future. I'm worried that Disney is going to do this again next year on Force Friday.
Yeah.
Most likely.
That would suck. But yeah, I don't know. I guess right now it's kind of a waiting game. I'm happy that he was able to get them up now, and they're all public now. But I feel like it was the wrong decision going to the person reviewing the sets, and I feel like Disney and Lego should have gone to the stores and businesses selling.
They could at least have informed.
They're the ones. They're the ones they're the ones who put them out early. It wasn't or the online stores you could buy them. They are the ones that were selling them early or putting them out early. And I feel like that if you're gonna do something like this, go to them. Don't go to the person who bought the customer.
I mean, I've just checked out the video now. The one where he's talking about it, and Lego did reply to it in the video.
Whoa, they did?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Wait, what?
What did they say?
It's a huge paragraph. I'll try.
Can you read it? Can you
I'll
summarize?
try and copy it. We'll see if I can. Don't mind me. Keep talking. Don't let me stop.
Anyway, so speaking of Star Wars sets, Batch Mac just the new construction sets.
Yep. I just got all 4 of the new sets that were released on Force Friday. I just so happened to have gone into the store, and I didn't, because nothing was officially revealed beforehand. I was urged to go there out of nowhere, and look at that, there were buildable figures there, so I bought them.
Well, I've got the paragraph. I don't know if anyone's read it yet or if anyone's seen it, but that's the pinned comment by the team, our Lego official account.
That's very rare for them to do something like this.
Yeah. We're sorry for any issues that were caused. We value our fans because there was an error with our retail. Do you
want to read it out properly so people on the stream know what you're on about?
Yeah, I'll read out Lego's statement.
Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, and we are sorry for any issues this has caused. We value all our fans and creators around the globe and all that they do. In this instance, there was an error with our retailers releasing products before an agreed upon date, and not with our fans sharing the excitement with their communities. At the LEGO Group, it is critical that we keep that our product release announcements are kept confidential for both our company and our partners. In support of this, we have a process involving both internal and external partners for handling instances where products or information about products reach the public prior to the official launch date. We realize and appreciate that some postings are made in good faith and purely out of the interest for LEGO products. Unfortunately, it isn't always possible to distinguish the time when when taking down requests are sent. When something like this happens, we are forced to limit the damage by having the content removed immediately. We acknowledge that in this case, the error was not our fans, but our retail partners, and for that we apologize. We thank you for your understanding and for being such great fans.
That seems more in line with LEGO's philosophy and generally how they go about handling these situations. And it makes a lot more sense if they post something like that and they've clarified exactly what everyone thought and knew, because they've recently sent something to Jang for LEGO Life as a promotion.
Yeah.
So to have them then follow it up with an immediate cease and desist seemed a bit odd, but it's clear that this really does shed a lot of light, and I figured a lot of people guessed this.
Yeah.
Like, we can just, deduce that, a few minutes ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's good LEGO replied.
Jang replied to it as well, but it wasn't anything as major as that. It was just saying thank you for the response and such.
Yo, thank you, iPad. Yeah, so...
Anyway, Star Wars.
Yep.
Anyway, back to what we're talking about. The new build of figures were released. I will post photos in the group chat as I am talking about them, so we can kind of all see them at the same time. But yeah, so I got Chewbacca. I got the I can't say the Otto. Can you say the name for me? Because you can say
Praetorian Guard.
the Praetorian Guard.
Praetorian.
I cannot say that word for the life of me. But yeah, so I got all these figures on Force Friday, and and Ray, but Ray's like the worst. Yeah. So yeah. This wave I think reminds me a lot of the Force Awakens wave, in where it's a weird mixed bag of good and bad things. Force Awakens wave had some good sets, but it also had some really bad sets. I guess that's just kind of how Star Wars sets are for the movies. Like, whenever they're making about an upcoming movie, they always have to make certain characters, and those characters do not translate well into buildable figures. But yeah, I'm just gonna start. When we were talking about Ray, I'm just gonna start with Ray. She was. I hope these photos send faster. But Ray, I remember the talk about her was that she looked really bad. She looked ugly as crap. But she had really good parts. That's what everyone kept saying. And I'd like to clarify that she does include a few really good parts. However, she includes one of each of those really good parts. So you get one really good gray shell, one really good brown shell, and then you get two shades, which is nice. But but it's like you only get one of each. What can you mock with that, And so I would say it's more worth going on Bricklink and ordering a bunch of these parts in bulk, buying Ray.
Thatch.
What's up, Rankers?
Is the lightsaber hilt silver?
Yes,
chrome?
This is cool. So LEGO, with their buildable figures, has made the distinction. Oh my gosh, these photos need to send. Has made the distinction that this specific blade with the somewhat chrome hilt is Anakin's lightsaber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. So this is basically showing that Rey has Anakin's lightsaber. I'm sorry, these photos are not sending.
Unacceptable.
Kasai, do you have the photos saved?
Unacceptable.
No.
I'll get them out the other chat.
Okay.
You keep talking.
Thanks, Marcus. You're the man. But yeah, so that's nice because the last time that appeared was with Finn. Another really ugly set. But I guess they like throwing shiny lightsaber hilt with the ugly sets to distract from their faces. But she has. That's Kasai's custom lightsaber. But she has the shiny one, which is really cool. That they continue that. But aside from that, I mean, she's not really even a good part spec, like I said. She has two bone pieces in skin color, so if you're into that.
Is she better than the original Rey or not?
No, I think the original Rey is better.
I think both of their heads are still gross, though.
I think the original Rey's head is a little better because she didn't have a monster forehead.
Yeah, you didn't see her forehead at all.
But the head isn't that bad. It's just the neck is weird because it just cuts off and it looks like it looks like a robot's wearing a human face mask. It's gross. But
the face looks good, but the forehead and hair looks really gross.
And I don't like that the neck just cuts off. It's weird. But yeah, so she's $20. I would not recommend Rey. I don't think the gun is an improvement from the last gun. At least the last gun didn't have the back of the gun ends really abruptly in this version, and it's weird. But I wouldn't recommend Rey. I don't think anybody was going to get Rey. I mean, she has a cloth piece, I guess I should mention, and it's weird and long and strange, and I don't know. I couldn't see it being used too well for Mox. But yeah, I mean, she's not really that great. But no one wants to wear Rey. Let's move on to some better stuff. So I want to talk about the guard guy, the red guard. I want to talk about him. Praetorian? No, I'm kidding. But this dude, this red dude. Oh, I'm so sorry about these photos. They're not sending.
I'm still looking for them now. I found them now.
Okay, cool. The Praetorian guard is the red dude with the paper on his head.
Didn't you call it like saggy cheese in one podcast?
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh wait, like you didn't take right. There isn't an image of the Praetorian guard, but
if you
it's
keep
in the background, you can see it.
If you keep scrolling, there should be more.
I think that. So I'll grab those.
But yeah, so the Praetorian he's really awesome. He's a great figure. I would genuinely highly recommend him. I don't know. He's the best built. His build flows the best. It looks the most natural. And his colors he's a beacon of Mata red, and that is just beautiful to look at. In a theme of browns, grays, and blacks, it's nice to get a completely red figure.
Natural color, not a neutral color, but just a bright, vibrant.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't know if you know about this, Eljay, but the Praetorian Guard comes with red Hordika necks.
Yeah, Meso picked this set up pretty recently. He mentioned that, and neither of us had figured that would even be a thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I remember seeing it and like whoa, it was crazy.
It's a bootleg part.
Yeah,
it looks like a bootleg part.
I said it looks like a knockoff piece. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's cool though, but he's got some great recolors, like I said. And as a figure, as a toy, he's really good. He's built well. He looks good, but the parts are amazing. I mean, he's got the shoulder pads, which are really cool. I really hope LEGO does not continue the trend of making a really cool piece in one color and then for one figure and then never molding it ever again in any new colors. It happens a lot. Especially with Hero Factory. It happens all the time. But I hope this piece gets used more and more colors. And certainly if there's ever another construction theme, I would highly suggest they use this piece because it's a great piece. It even includes a little groove in the top of it. So there's like a little gap around the ball. Or not around, it's hard to explain. But there's a segment at the top of it that's cut open. So then if you move his arms up, he can actually move them up and they don't get cut off. So that's really nice. His articulation is good. It's really cool they thought of that. And he's got great parts. He's got the Star Wars shins in red.
The new blades as well, if you want to talk about that.
The new blades are great. They're small, but they're really cool. I dig them. They're really good, like, knife pieces and everything.
Have we not seen the image of, like, the different weapons they have?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty cool. Mine, I actually split mine up. My Praetorian Guard, it's supposed to be a staff, but I broke it into just two blades because I think it looks cooler. But, yeah, he also he's got these 4 long red shells, which are really nice, but they've got printing on them, which sucks. But aside from that, I highly recommend the Praetorian Guard. I mean, it sucks he's $25, but he's really good. And his build is awesome. It's like a sleeked, better version of Skull Basher's function. Like, it's way sleeker, and he's got a great build. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend the Praetorian Guard. And even the cloth looks really cool. I'm thinking someone could probably use it for, like, a scarf or something. So, yeah. Then awesome. I might as well get the pilot. I'm going to save Chewbacca for last because I feel like you can talk about Chewbacca the most. There you go. Thanks, Kasai. So I'm talking about the pilot. He's really basic. He's just a black stormtrooper. That's pretty much it. There you go. There's the pilot.
Okay, that was too in-depth. I think you need to shorten that a bit. Goodness.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure this is another one that you weren't exactly happy with either.
Yeah. But yeah, on to Chewbacca. Chewbacca is as tall as Brutaka, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, there's the one right at the stormtrooper ripping his arms off. Yeah. Yeah. Chewbacca is a really mixed. I've got very mixed bags. I don't want to say a mixed bag, but my opinions on Chewbacca are really mixed. I don't know. If he's just standing there, like in that photo of him next to Brutaka, and he's just standing there neutrally, and he's not posed, and he's just standing there, he looks fine. He looks passable. He looks you don't look at him and go and like you cringe. But if you move any joint and try to put him in any pose aside from maybe holding his gun, the whole figure breaks apart. Everything starts falling apart. Like the shoulders get bent down too much and they're disproportional. The legs, if you bend the knees, the whole knee gets exposed, and you basically cannot pose him aside from him just standing there, and he looks good. So it's not. So if you just want to buy him and have him sit on your shelf, then by all means, go ahead. I will say he was a lot of fun to build because his build is really complicated and really cool. It's a custom build. I do get annoyed whenever these Star Wars sets do custom builds like this because you build this awesome, really cool custom build, and you slap a giant Star Wars shell onto it, and the whole thing gets covered, and it's like, why didn't you just use a normal torso if you're just going to put a Star Wars chest piece on it? So that kind of sucks. But if you take the Star Wars shell off, it's a really cool build. And he's a lot of fun to build. I think the head actually turned out pretty well. It doesn't look as ugly as it could have. The only thing I don't like about the head is completely textured, and the rest of his hair is printed, and it looks really weird. And I don't really know if there's any way around that aside from I wanted them to use the Chima fur pieces. That probably would have helped out a little bit. But yeah, he's a weird figure. His gun is kind of cool. He's got some really nice pieces. He's not. I forever thought he was dark brown, but he's not. He's actually reddish brown.
That's actually a really good thing.
Yeah, he's reddish brown, not dark brown. So you get a ton of reddish brown shells, and they're all really useful. It sucks that the big Star Wars ones are printed, but you get shin armor in reddish brown. It's not the same color as Rey's. Rey's are dark brown. His are reddish brown. You get 5 lungs in reddish brown. You get beast feet in reddish brown. You get 3 lungs. He's a really good parts pack. But
you get a Chewbacca.
Yeah, and you get the chest piece in dark brown, which is cool. But overall, I'd say you don't need him. I think Makis would like him for his parts, but then again, you could probably just bricklink the parts. So I'd say, I don't know, maybe if you're a big Star Wars fan and you really love Chewbacca, he'd be for you, but he's $35, and I feel like I can't justify $35. Yeah, he's $35. He's the same amount as General Grievous.
I was sitting here thinking, how much is he? Is he like after this, I was going to go to Walmart, see if he's around, be like, yeah, I think I'll pick up his $35.
That would be better spent on a guard, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goodness, he is more expensive. He's the same height, but he's more expensive by $15 than Brutaka was at retail. Goodness.
That's Star Wars sets for you.
No kidding.
Logic.
Haru Master was the same price as Brutaka at retail, so
Yeah, it's been a lot of inflation, but I don't know. That's overall. That's basically all I can say about the Star Wars sets. It's a really weird wave, really mixed one. But the only figure I'd say is a must get is the guard. He's really great. And then maybe, what's up?
Well, as I was gonna kind of voice my opinion, as someone who actively uses Star Wars figures in one of his series, I definitely want 2 of the Praetorian guards just to have a pair. And then I need a pilot just because troopers are a big part of that show. But then Chewbacca, if I get him, he's going to be a joke for sure. And then Rey's just, if I get her, she's going to be scrapped. I don't think I'll even build her, and her head will just go with my pile of human heads that I'll never use.
You. Human heads are gross.
Obi-Wan's is the best one.
Obi-Wan's head doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty good.
Probably because they styled it after the cartoon instead of Ian McGregor's face.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was ripped straight out of the so yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Grievous, I think.
Anyone else want to talk about their opinions on these figures?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to pick up the guard. That was like, as soon as I seen the images for him, like the guard straight away. I think I'll pick up Chewie just for, I don't know, the set, I guess. Like, I know that transitioning certain characters into Lego is like difficult, especially with like the buildable style things. So I don't think it's the worst we've had. Ray, I'll probably pass on. I'll probably like get the parts from Brickling, and I'll probably pass on the pilot. But then again, I might get it to build the new type of trooper that's in The Last Jedi that uses the the imprinted shoulder armor that it has.
Yeah. I need 2 of the pilot. I need to get another First Order trooper to do that.
Yeah.
So you need like 3 of every set.
And
So you meet with evil.
As long as it's a trooper of some type, I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Honestly, I really love the Praetorian Guard. I think he's really cool. If red were higher up on my favorite colors list, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be here and I'd be at Walmart buying him. But
if I had the money,
I was thinking when they brought all the sets up, these guards must have a huge part in the film.
I don't think they will be. I think they're going to be like...
I don't know.
I
think,
like,
well...
I
say this, and then...
Look at the original thing they're based off of in the original trilogy. They were
basically window dressing.
Has said that they're actually going to do things instead of the royal guards who just stand there doing nothing.
We are window dressing.
Eljay, I want to know what your opinion is on Chewbacca.
That's the thing. The price is really high, or at least I think it is. I'm sure it's comparable, but yeah, that puts me off a bit. But I like Chewbacca. I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I like it. I think it's a faithful adaptation. The printing is a bit... I would have liked to have gotten those parts without printing, but I understand why they did it. But I like it.
Cool.
I think he's cool.
Awesome. Awesome to get a different opinion and everything. Cool.
Yeah, yes, Eljay real quick.
Okay.
Well, think about the other pilot and Ray.
What was that, Kasai? What did you say?
First off, before I ask, what do you think about the pilot and Ray?
He's asking you, Eljay.
Oh, okay. The pilot and Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. Pilot is incredibly generic. We've seen this set. This is nothing new, and it's really unfortunate.
I like the design of the helmet. Though.
That's fair. I can understand that. The head is really neat, but I don't know. Like, I wouldn't buy this unless I were collecting them all, which I'm not. So, and then Ray. Oh goodness.
So that's the best part, right?
Gosh darn, Ray is just... It really bites that they only included one of the pieces I'm sure people are going to want. But, we have flesh bones now, so yay.
I'm so mad that they made the 5 longs in gray, but then they printed on a giant nasty slab of flesh onto it. That is...
Yeah. No, it just... it's disappointing. I think it's a faithful adaptation as well, outside of, her massive forehead. But,
Yeah.
I bet some Daisy Ridley hater or whatever designed the head and gave her a huge forehead to make fun of her or something like that.
I wonder how Daisy Ridley herself would react to that.
I mean, if it were me and I had a forehead like that on a figure made of me, I'd still be down to get it. Be like, hey, it's still me.
Yeah, that's allowed people to do. Get an action figure of yourself.
Yeah.
Didn't Chirrut come with a flesh bone too?
Yeah, Chirrut comes with a lower arm segment in flesh. Now you can have a full-on flesh arm, guys.
Oh, thank goodness. Meaty goodness in my construction.
So many mocks can be completed now.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so Eljay, I just kind of want to know your opinion on the Star Wars construction theme as a whole.
Should we waive it? Well, actually, you know what? This is a good transition. We're going to go into the Eljay interview. Here we go.
Okay. First question.
All right. First question, thoughts on construction Star Wars?
Yep.
Yeah.
Super hit or miss. I think they did a fantastic job with the first wave, especially with Grievous. Grievous is just so cool.
Grievous is the man.
Darth Vader's also well done. He looks a little odd at times, but the build is really good.
Another getting a second Darth Vader. Oh my gosh.
Anyway. I think that the first wave was at least decent. They did a good job getting all the really iconic ones out of the way. I feel like the movie adaptations, when it comes to actual faces, like for what's her name? I haven't seen Rogue One.
Jin.
Her, and then Rey. It comes off as a bit weird because they're not stylized, and Lego is a style. They have the hard plastic, so it comes off as a bit strange. And then the clone troopers and the stormtroopers and just all the different troop variants it feels a little oversaturated to me. Mm-hmm. So I was gifted Darth Vader. I won a Darth Vader, and I was gifted Grievous. I love those. I think they're fantastic. I don't see myself getting others.
What about the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike one?
Oh no, I'm not gonna get that either. I'm glad that they made that. I'm really, really interested to know how that build is on the bike, but it's not something that appeals to me.
Thatcher's got it, I think.
Yeah, I got it. And
as well.
Stormtrooper Commander is like my favorite thing ever. Oh my gosh, I love that figure. But yeah, cool. Well, thanks.
I was going to ask because we were just talking about the Star Wars line, and you were talking about
what? Yes, Rangus. Just
I didn't want to interrupt like Eljay and stuff whilst he was talking. My apologies, Thatch.
No, I'm just saying, dude.
Since you talked about like which wave wave that you thought was the best, what do you think was the worst of the Star Wars construction so far?
I already know what mine is,
but so do I.
I'd say like I'm not sure how they're divvied up into waves because I didn't keep too close attention, but I'll say the best was the first wave. And then I honestly can't say which was the worst because I don't know which waves they're in.
The first one was an entire wave, if I'm correct, and then you had the Force Awakens one with 6 fingers.
The first wave was 6 figures. The second wave was 6 figures. The wave after that was the first 3 Rogue One. Then you got 3.
The schedule for these sets is just a mess. It's awful.
You got 3 Rogue One sets, 3 more Rogue One sets, 2 original trilogy sets, and now 4 Last Jedi.
It's such a mess the way they release these sets. They are not helping their sales at all with how they release them. Nope.
So I think my favorite wave is either the first one or the 2 original trilogy ones we got this summer. And my least favorite wave is definitely the second Rogue One wave with turret and base because those are horrible.
You had the Shore Trooper in that one.
Well, Shore Trooper, but the other 2 are awful.
Yeah. I've got a question for Eljay. So this is I don't know if this is a heavy one, but what do you think the possibility is of Bionicle ever coming back in any way, shape, or form in the future?
If it were to come back in the future, it'd be far, 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 far off. And even at that point, I think that the chances of it coming back are slim to none. Because bringing a line back like they did in the way that they did is nigh unprecedented. So I don't think that it's going to be coming back for probably a decade or more, if ever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, that was a lot faster of an answer than I was expecting.
Ico said at one point that the possibility of Bionicle returning can't be completely ruled out, but they don't have any. Yeah, they're not planning for it at all.
Yeah, and they say that about every theme. I think pretty sure they said that about Mixels and about a bunch of other themes.
Mixels.
No.
That's
they have to keep their options open. They can't say no to anything.
Yeah. I feel like if they ever did, they would either. I feel like it would. If it was coming back and it was a construction theme, they would need to wait until they figured out their construction situation, because right now, construction is not doing well in terms of a theme. Like, we're getting sparse waves released out of nowhere for Star Wars, and they're incredibly overpriced, and the only reason we're getting them is because they're so overpriced, and that's the only way they can make money. So I feel like construction is in such a bad place that it would either have to be when construction is in a better place, or it would have to be after ending construction entirely for a while. They would bring it back. They would get rid of the construction market and then wait a bunch of years and then bring it back and act like, a rebirth of construction, act like construction and everything. I just feel like I don't expect them bringing it back alongside the Star Wars theme at all. I feel like at this point we are more likely to get a new theme than we are for Bionicle to come back.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So I have some questions, LJ.
Shoot.
Okay, so first question, do you think the Star Wars construction line is a good enough substitute until another one arrives?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, like, the problem with Star Wars is that it plays things safe, like, very safe. Mm-hmm. Obviously, because they're adaptations of things, so they just need to adapt them as closely as they can. And for the most part, that just necessitates standard humanoid, really easy-to-handle builds. But I think that if you're a fan of construction and you like collecting the active construction theme, Star Wars is probably right up your alley. I think that it is a good substitute.
Yeah.
Or placeholder.
Yeah, holder until further notice, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, next question. You currently have a self-mock?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Actually?
Oh, you gotta show that.
My.
Yep, no, I do have a self-mock, and I was actually at Brick Fair this year.
I saw that, but I saw two different versions.
Mine was the one that was on the right. It was not the one that was closer to the corner with the pink mask, eventually.
Yours was the one with the pink mask?
Nope, mine was the one without the pink mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I will eventually post pictures or video of that mock.
Mm-hmm.
Please do. I saw it at Brick Fair. It was pretty good. I really liked it. It was really cool, unique build. The build is really neat. I liked that you used the Technic panel pieces on the torso, and it was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, the torso is... I'm very proud of that torso because the original design of it was based off something that Ven had made for me, and then that was based off something that somebody else had made. So I'm very glad to have my own unique kind of take on things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty similar what I do with my self-mock torso. It's based off of a different design. Cool. I would love to see that sometime because I really wanted to build Eljay.
Certainly, yeah. No, I will post pictures of that hopefully soon.
Okay. Because I don't know where to start. But next, how has the community changed in the time you've been a part of it besides G2?
Oh goodness. Whew. That is a massive... Okay, it's changed substantially.
Uh-huh.
Because I joined the community in 2005. So, so it's been about 12 years now.
Oh man, you're ancient. Holy smokes. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I joined in 05, and at that time, the place to be, unequivocally, was BZ Power.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit wasn't really a thing. Like, a massive amount of boards weren't really a thing. I think YouTube was just starting.
Yeah.
I think about last time it was starting out.
Yeah, so really the place to be for Bionicle fans was BZ Power. And what I did on BZ Power, if I wasn't in storyline and theories, hearing about what Greg has been saying in the official Greg discussion topic, because people would send Greg a PM and then post their answers on that topic, then I was in artwork under Artwork 3 Comics.
Mm-hmm.
And the comics, like BZ Power had its own culture, with Proto and the spinnies, the ear spinnies, and banners and avatars and fads. But the comics not only had all of that, but they had their own separate culture of just tons of things, like these massive story worlds, the Comic Land, Hapori Tohu, who was the site's mascot, Hapori Duma.
Oh my god, someone else called Hapori, holy smokes.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm sure someone found the mascot for BC Power and were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Hapori Tohu. Yeah.
Me. Posted Hapori Tohu a bit ago in the group chat, and everyone was like, oh.
Yeah, but it's like, it was a fascinating place to be. But as time has gone on, I definitely think that the Bionicle community has it. I hesitate to say this. I don't think that it has been as much of a. Okay, it's difficult to say. Okay. Because back when I was a part of it, very heavily involved in doing things and creating things, issues always popped up now and then. I feel like everyone was less critical. There we go. That's the way I'm looking at it. Everyone was far less critical about basically everything.
Yeah.
Because people would make comics and it'd be just these awful paint JPEG things, but people would be very nice and kind and be like, oh, he's just starting out. Same with mocks. I think people were a lot less critical about mocks, but nowadays it's all about, staking your flag in the ground and being like, this is mine. And
seems like everyone's a bit more opinionated and they have to put their opinions across.
Absolutely. I think that's a good way of putting it. So I think that's the largest change to the community as a whole.
All right. See, so I get that. And I'm happy you said that, because I've noticed that the Bionicle community can be very hostile at times nowadays. They're very I don't want to say this, but a lot of times on the boards, people can be very cynical. And I've seen a lot of arguing and a lot of people just kind of saying things that are very cynical and kind of not mean, but just cynical for no reason. And everyone seems to want to argue about things that don't really need to be argued about.
Especially mocks.
Yes, especially mocks. And it really sucks because I feel like it would be better now if we were more accepting, because right now the only stuff we have to continue the Bionicle idea of Bionicle is the stuff that we're making ourselves. So I feel like we should be very welcome to that, because it's all we have, instead of just kind of criticizing it, because someone makes a bad mock, but thank goodness they're making a Bionicle mock, right? That's not very many people do that in the grand scheme of communities and fandoms and stuff. So I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I think definitely that's a massive change, and BZ Power, they were really the only ones to have that kind of comic community, and unfortunately, from what I've seen, that's kind of petered out. There's not a lot of activity there anymore, so I think the death of that is also a change.
Yeah. One of the original intentions of starting the Hapori was, trying to revitalize BioTube a bit, because it had been kind of dying for a while. We just wanted to start bringing BioTube back together,
To be fair, BioTube is unique because BioTube isn't one person or one group of people. BioTube is the entire community, so it's not like a board, or it's not BC Power. It's, as long as there's people making stuff on BioTube, then there's BioTube. So I think BioTube is best at adapting and updating itself. We've got some really great stuff. We've got Reviving Bionicle, and we've got Okota Origins, all this fantastic stuff. So thank goodness we're here, and we're not I don't know, on DeviantArt is kind of sad what's going on. But yeah.
So I got two more questions.
Go.
So this one, I understand if you don't want to talk about it. What was it like at the height of TTV's popularity during T2?
No, it was exciting. It was definitely exciting because, we had a bunch of stuff to talk about pretty much all the time. Because Bionicle, it was the core interest at the time.
Uh-huh.
So it was very exciting. It was also kind of when things started to shift toward doing things a particular way. For instance, I've made it no secret that I absolutely hated doing the recent reviews. And the reason I hated doing the recent reviews was because I was asked to try and do it in a particular way.
You didn't have freedom?
Oh, say what?
You didn't have creative freedom over it?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. It was just I was asked to do them very specifically.
And you didn't feel
because
comfortable, going forward with that?
It was just more of a chore, basically.
Yeah.
Because with the recap reviews, they're very noticeably in a very archaic, basic style. Mm-hmm. You look at them and like, okay, yeah, it's just a guy and he's talking for however long. But with the recents, you had to have these dynamic angles, you had to have these close-ups to zoom in. It was a very heavy mimicry of Jang's style, through and through, which is the modern standard for reviews. So it was a lot more work. It was a lot more of a chore. I didn't have as much fun doing them. In addition to that, I was asked to do build-ups, build-up videos, and the unfortunate thing is that it basically either tripled or quadrupled my workload because I still had to do recaps at the time. So I was doing the recaps, I was doing the build-ups, and that had to come out soon because there was that rush to get these reviews out and compete with other places that were getting them. So it was rushed. It was a lot of work. So I'd say it was exciting, getting to see all the G2 stuff and actually living back through Bionicle.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a lot of work. There was a lot happening.
Was there really any reason for that, or was it just
for what specifically?
The kind of review style to change, from the recap reviews to the new ones.
Yeah,
I apologize if you went over them. I'm trying to multitask. I don't want to seem rude.
No, it's cool. I'm not 100% sure. I don't recall. I think it was just to try and compete visually with other reviews because it was the standard look. We were trying to come up to the standard.
Yeah.
And I think that was really it because the recaps were just a very archaic style. And that was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. I've got a few things I want to say. First off, I posted a picture of Eljay self-mock that I took at Brick Fair in the chat.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one? Alright, just want to make sure. I wish I took more photos so that it'd be easier to see the build. I'm kind of mad that I didn't, but, well. And I also wanted to say that I wanted to ask you a question. Kasai, did you have any more questions, or was that the last one?
I have one more, but I did have a comment about the style of the recaps. If you wanted to make those any more archaic, you should have reviewed them on the floor, like Legomation.
Okay, that's actually... I guess I can actually kind of tell this story since I'm not representing anyone, but Legomation Studios is the reason I wanted to start reviewing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
He is the reason I started the recaps because I absolutely hated his reviews. I'm certain Legomation is a great guy. I'm sure he's a very kind person, and I'm glad that he's still doing what he wants to do because he very recently made an announcement that he's stepping out of Lego and he's just doing what he's interested in.
Drums.
But my goodness, I sat there in 2012, 2013, watching his videos going, wait, no. The red one is the Kanera, the yellow one's the Muaka. Wait, no, Tahumata never sold with the Exotoa. What?
Yeah.
What are you... And they were the most popular reviews at the time.
I remember when the Praetorians and that were first coming out, and I would always watch his reviews because I kind of think they were the only half decent ones or good ones at that time. It's just the way they were done were terrible. Even then, compared to today's standards, you just
Yeah, it's. I think that's a really good example of how BioTube has changed. Like, you look at those reviews, and it's a dude in his room with a mock on the floor and a camera just talking about it. Or not a
It was
mock.
a lot less serious back then.
Yeah, and it said there was no back. It was just his carpet, and that's like how a lot of the story series were. They were a dude, and this epic tale was happening on his kitchen table. And now it's kind of evolved now, and you got stuff like Okota Origins, and the reviews have like white backgrounds, and it's interesting to look at. That was really cool. I never knew that. That's actually a really cool thing. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like I thought I could do them better because I had a ton of sets and I had a lot of knowledge, and it was a great time to practice.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a question about how did what was it like having a community with Bionicle in G2? Like, what during that compared to how it was during G1? Like, not saying like how the community has changed, but like, how did they react? Like, in G1 when the community was around, did they love like every new set that came out? And in G2 that obviously wasn't the case. Or like, compared, how was that? Like comparing how the fandom reacted to G2 when it was going on, compared to how the fandom reacted to G1 when it was going on.
Okay. Another great question. You guys are really good at this. So let me start with G2. G2, when sets came out, again, everyone was a lot more critical. Everyone was a lot more, do I really want that? Is that really good? Is there a good value here? And it was heavily one of those, we're going to criticize everything with a fine-tooth comb, and if we like it, then it's probably good. In Generation 1, the way it was, it was, there were still critics out there, certainly, but obviously since BZ Power was the mainstay that it was during the time, if there was a prevailing opinion either that came out in a review or just generally felt in the community, most of the community kind of adapted to see that point of view. For instance, have you ever heard Voltrez sucks?
Whoa, what? Really?
What?
Man, Renzo is not going to like that, but please do tell.
You've never heard of that before?
Nope.
Okay, BZ Power made a review in 2008 for Voltraz. They were at Brick Fair one year, so they did kind of a group review. And one of the members of the review made this joke where he just said Voltraz sucks over and over and over again. And so it kind of became like a Generation 1 meme. Voltraz sucks. I reference this in my Voltraz skit because Voltraz, he sees the BZ Power review. He looks up. He's like, is it true? And a vacuum cleaner's like, no, you don't suck. But, so while I think that people are a lot more critical in Generation 2, in Generation 1, there were two driving factors to a response for a wave. There was, the value of it. Is this set a good adaptation? Because a lot of sets were just characters that had come out prior and they were being redone or they were being reintroduced. So it's like, well, is this Motoro as good as the prior Motoro? Yay, nay. Is it a good build? Is it a good set? And then there was, obviously the reviewers and the general community opinion and the discussion. But there was also, well, is this, what's the story value here? Because story was a big part of the Bionicle community and a part of, well, just generally Bionicle. People would look at me like, it's Motoro. I gotta get Motoro. He's Motoro. Regardless of whether the set was good or bad. And so I think people were a lot more excited because they were younger, because they were growing up with Bionicle. They had started early on when it began, because BZ Power had started in 2002. And so they were a lot more positive and eager and excited because this stuff was new and value wasn't that big of a deal, and they were just excited to see what was next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was a good answer. A lot of value in there.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Kasai, do you have another question then?
Yeah, I got one more, but personally, like G2 is like my favorite thing, like ever. But I'm definitely probably one of the most positive people towards G2 you'll ever meet. But
I know Kasai loves Akimu. Like
Akimu is literally my favorite Bionicle character of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Interesting. That's unique to me. I've never heard anyone say that before.
Like Tulta is my second favorite.
Well, I think a lot of things that happened with Kasai, and I don't know, but you kind of developed a character around them yourself, and that kind of made you really like them. Like Kolta, you basically developed his personality yourself. He didn't have much of a personality in the actual story, and I feel like because of that, because it was so basic, I feel like you developing that idea of them yourself made you care about them more because you kind of created the characters yourself, which means you care about them more.
Yeah, definitely. I think I said the other night, like, I poured just about as much, time and love into Kimu as I have, my own self. So, but okay. So for my last question, sorry. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was the point.
Oh goodness. So we'll just go favorite specific food or favorite meal to eat.
Yeah, either doesn't matter.
Oh, manganese.
All right. So my favorite, I think, it's a bit of a tie between two specific types of meal. The safe answer are just homemade tacos. Hard shell tacos, the refrap beans, the hamburger, and all the stuff on top. That's a safe answer.
The
other one is a concoction, a mix between hamburger, pasta noodles, peas, and they're all mixed together with mayonnaise.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then obviously mangosteen is my favorite fruit.
Yep.
Delicious.
Yeah. Mangosteen!
I've never had mangosteen before.
Not many have. It was banned from the United States up until like 2008-ish.
Huh.
So, and it's I still think it's only on like the coasts.
Wow. I want to try it. I want to go over to the coast and like try it.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Cool. All right. Anyone else?
I haven't got any questions, unfortunately. My apologies.
Yeah.
I want to ask something about your time at TTV, but I have no idea what to ask. I'm pretty sure Kasai already asked what I would have asked. So.
Okay.
I'll say it was an adventure, hands down. A lot happened, and even though it didn't end very well, I'm still very happy with what I was able to accomplish. We finally got the Biocraft map out there. Got obviously the recap's done, so pretty happy about that.
The recaps are like you should be very proud of the recaps. They're an achievement. They're amazing.
I know that they're not the highest quality review. I think that like Rollout Reviews has some higher quality videos or Bionicle reviews than I do, but I'm glad that they were able to advance and grow and improve over time, and that eventually they got finished. I'm very happy about that.
So I have one thing I want to try before we get into the topic, but do you have any questions for us?
Absolutely.
That's interesting one.
I'll start one out.
Okay.
Where do you think you're going to see the Hapori in 3 years' time?
Oh, man.
3?
Oh, no.
That is how long LEGO plans any given set theme. It's how long they planned for Bionicle. Obviously, it didn't go through. So 3 years' time, where are you guys going to be?
Wow.
Okay. Since I started the Hapori, 3 years' time, first off, the Hapori is never going to be a company. That's not the point.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
We're never going to be, a corporation. So that's definitely. I think we can all agree on that. The Hapori will never be.
Yeah.
The Hapori.co. That's never going to happen.
It'll never be about the money or making a profit. It'll always be about the community and the passion.
Yeah, we don't make any money off of it right now, so we're purely here for the community.
But so I see us definitely branching out and into different places, hubs. Like we started a club on DeviantArt for the Hapori already.
I still need to link to that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to there either.
We're gonna be starting some social media at some point, just for like updates and stuff. We're definitely going to be expanding our members, bringing new people in, trying to do more, community outreach type stuff. We should really start doing like live streams on Hapori channel.
I've said this.
Yeah. I really want to talk about where I see the Hapori. The idea for the Hapori was that, at least what I got off of, was that it would be a hub for the community, and that right now we're the cast of the Hapori, but I imagine some people we're never going to kick somebody off. That's never going to happen. If somebody were to leave, it would have to be their decision. But a lot of us are going to be going to college in about 3 years and stuff. So I imagine the Hapori becoming a hub and a point where the cast shuffles in and out, and it's more of a centerpiece for the community, and it's less about specifically us, and it's more about being a thing there for the community. So that, like I said, in like 7 years, maybe the cast would be completely different or something, just something like that. So it could be self-fulfilling, and it would always have like its own thing.
Always like evolving and changing pretty much like over time.
Yeah. We don't want to be the Hapori like cast is just us right now. It's supposed to be this hub. But I see that I would like to see it succeeding a little bit. Like I would like to get a little bit more attention because we're trying our darndest right now. I'm hoping that we get to the point where we can have at least somewhat of a significant part, like at least a part of the community where people like recognize us or something. That would be nice. But
one of the things that would be nice is if we could get to the point where someone like Shadow Gear or like Colin LOF or the bigger members of the community can look at us and take us seriously.
I see. All right, that's a good game plan. That hub idea is very interesting. I've never heard of something like that before. Like a podcast where it kind of rotates.
Yep. Yeah, one thing we can say for sure is I don't plan on going to college, so I don't ever plan on leaving the Hapori. So I think I'll probably always be here, but
I could
the one
definitely
thing I hope we do is we'll all stay close and like we're still friends and stuff. That's one thing I hope we do.
I do see myself though in about 3 years, when I'm going to college, doing YouTube a lot less and doing Hapori a lot less. However, I'm still talking to all these guys. These guys are my buddies, but I'm going to be looking for like a career and stuff. And maybe if the Hapori thing really takes off, where it can be a career, that'd be great. But I don't see myself continuing forever doing what I'm doing right now, making videos and stuff like that. But I probably
one of the things.
Wait, can I stop you quickly, Kasai? Vanu's put in the other chat. I'm ready for the podcast in a bit.
Oh no!
Someone the news to him.
I guess I should. Oh boy.
Carry on.
Oh, that's terrible. So what was I gonna say?
Something.
Hang on.
You can do it.
Do it.
Think, Kasai. Think.
Someone get the hammer.
They'll come to watch. We'll finish the podcast and be like, "That was it."
Kasai, you're making us look bad in front of Eljay. Come on.
Well, I'm sorry, but
I can't accept this.
I guess you should.
What is this blatant unprofessionality? Man, I from corporate to this, I can't. You gotta have your questions and your thought processes ready all the time.
That's what I was worried about. That's honestly, I was most worried. Like, oh man, we're gonna look like a bunch of unprofessional scrubs compared to Eljay. Went from the podcast to like the bottom of the barrel, and we're gonna look so unprofessional.
That's it. I guess I have no other choice. I just have to leave now. I'll never be on again. This has offended me to such a grievous extent.
I got it. Thank you.
Oh, okay, much better.
Sigh under pressure.
Under pressure.
Pressure's how they make diamonds.
Yeah.
No.
But so I've said this in the group multiple times, and And I just, I said I don't ever see myself leaving the Hapori. I feel like I'm going to end up being like the shadow gear of the group where, I'm in my, 20s or like 30s or whatever, still in the community, still doing Bionicle stuff. Not really moving on. But yeah. And then like so this is the actual thing that I just remembered. On the Hapori page and then like the about section, we say the family, we list them, we list everyone, and like these guys definitely feel like they're my family. I wouldn't want to lose contact with any of them.
Aw,
that's good.
It's true. I agree.
That's very good.
Where do I see myself?
In the end, hopefully as a voice actor or reading audiobooks, Otto, do it. I'm telling you.
Like you've been throwing at me. Oh, do an audiobook.
Sure, right.
You be perfect.
When I actually leave college and if I go to university or something, or if I actually go out there and actually get my dream job, I know I obviously won't be doing much like with the Hapori and YouTube and such, but it doesn't mean that I'll leave. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll still be there. Because I think what we have right now is great, and like we've all came together. We're just, I don't know, it's weird. It's like we're all.
LJ, you asked a question, and we're all getting all sappy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we're all in this together.
Right, I'm just gonna quickly. We're all different people, as we are like different backgrounds and all that, and like I don't know, we just all like really connect really well. It's weird. So. Hopefully in 3 years' time we're still talking, which we probably will, but I don't want to jinx anything. I'm touching wood.
Yeah,
touching
neither
wood.
do I.
Yeah.
With that family idea, like, there's bickering here and there, but, it always resolves itself, there's nothing.
Yeah, I think in the end, the Hapori is here to serve the community. It's not about serving individual people, but it's serving the Bionicle community, and trying to keep it alive as much as we possibly can. I think that's pretty much what we can say. Where we see it in 3 years, wherever it is, hopefully it'll be in the service of the Bionicle community, and it will be helping the Bionicle community out.
Yeah. That's definitely the...
Yeah. Is that your only question, LJ?
I think that we have used enough time to where any more questions would extend this far beyond 2 hours.
Probably.
Well, I'll tell you how long we'll be. An hour and 24 minutes. Hey.
Mother of... Oh my gosh.
Long podcast, that's for sure, but you know what? It deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
It deserves it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on to the other segments. Hopefully it'll be faster, but that last segment was beautiful. That was amazing.
Well, it was in an interview. You didn't want to exactly rush through it. So
yeah,
that's probably the most I've spoken in it so far.
But
what was it?
Force Friday happened, so I went there. That's the best transition I can do. So yeah, I went to Force Friday to get the new Bionicle sets, and the reason I'm talking about this in the general section is because
you said Bionicle sets, though.
Oh,
what else? Oh man, sorry.
New Bionicle sets.
They're like Bionicles. They're not. These toe are the worst toe I've ever had. But
ones are who's good.
To get the Star Wars construction sets, but it was an interesting experience. It was the first Force Friday I've been to, so I went there. My mom surprised me at like 12 o'clock at night, like, "Hey, let's go." I'm like, "What?" So we left to go to Force Friday. We went to our Toys R Us. There were a line of people there, not like overly too many people, but there were probably like 20 people there. And they were a bunch of Star Wars fans.
Oh man, no.
They were. Most of them are obviously adults because they're the only ones who can go at 12 o'clock. But it was cool. There was a dude behind me talking about Porgs a lot. He really cared about Porgs. He really cared about the success of the Porgs in Episode 8. So that was interesting. Fun fact, story, I went there earlier in the day to be like, oh, maybe they put out the sets early. That was not a good thought. There's no way they're putting out the Star Wars sets early. But I thought maybe they would. So I went there, and we were leaving, and the cashier guy there was like, hey, we've got Force Friday going on, midnight, release Star Wars toys. Darth Vader's going to be there. Just as a one-off thing or whatever. I'm like, oh, he's probably talking about, Darth Vader toys or whatever. So I went off or whatever. So sure enough, 5 hours later, I'm waiting in line. and a dude dressed up as Darth Vader starts walking around. And I'm wondering if you can guess who that guy was.
Oh man.
It was the guy who mentioned it.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was the guy who mentioned the Darth Vader
I'm
thing.
sure you put an image in chat as well, and you're like, "What is
Yeah.
that? What is that?"
He was loving it though. Holy smokes, that dude was owning it. He was having so much fun.
Dude,
But yeah.
if I was up as Darth Vader, I would too. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. It was awesome. He was owning it. But it was really funny. But that was whatever, fine, Star Wars. But then all of a sudden, somebody walks out dressed as the Toys R Us giraffe.
What?
Ew. They have a lightsaber battle.
They had a giant, ugly giraffe head thing, and they looked like an ugly mascot for some like sports team. That was weird. It just walked out. You could tell, like he almost looked like he was gonna fall over. His head was huge and like. That was funny.
They have a battle.
They were walking around. Darth Vader and
They
him,
have a bottle.
they were chilling out together. But yeah, so that was interesting. But we got in there, and the bad thing about where I live is that we never get any of the Marvel Legends or the Black Series from Hasbro. We never get those. Like they ship like a year late. Like it's horrible. So
a year?
It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's months. It's several months.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's what everyone was there for, were the Black Series. Everyone's like, oh man, gotta get the Black Series, Luke Skywalker, got a Black Series this. And the one toy of Star Wars they didn't have was the Black Series. And oh boy, were people mad. Were extremely mad that they did not have their Black Series figures there.
Why not just order them from online or something?
I don't know. But
you want the experience of getting them in person, dude.
Yeah.
I know, I said this in the call the other night as well.
Same thing, dude. So get it.
Yeah. It was that was funny. People were really mad. But I got a free shirt, I got a free poster, and I got a poly bag that has an exclusive R3 M2 minifigure. So that was cool.
What, they're giving them away?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
But yeah, I got all the. I was the only person.
Sorry.
I don't know, just some poster had a bunch of the new AT-ATs on it. But it was cool. I was the only person there buying Star Wars Construction because nobody else cares about Star Wars Construction except for me.
Apparently.
No one else wanted them, but that's all right.
More for you.
Right?
Yeah, more for that.
Actually, that Toys R Us still has Bionicle sets. It still has the last wave of Bionicle there.
Isn't that the one that you took pictures of as well?
Yep. The last.
All of them, dude.
No, I have multiples of all of them, dude. I don't need any more.
Yeah, just buy them for Kasai. It's all good.
Please.
But yeah, so that was my Force Friday experience. Speaking of Force Friday, Otto was unable to go because of.
Yeah.
Man?
Oh boy, here I go.
You live somewhat in the vicinity of it.
Yep. So, as many may know, Hurricane Harvey recently hit Texas, and oh my god. Well, we didn't really suffer that much flooding on where I live, at least. We just suffered a lot of wind and rain and occasional power outages and the like. But they already set up this like whole curfew thing, which I think contributed to why Toys R Us wasn't opening on Force Friday. But, you know, amongst other things, I have so far been unable to keep up with, you know, uploading stuff to YouTube and all that good stuff, interacting with my fellow Hapori members because of this darn storm. And it's just been it's partially the reason why I've been so quiet in this podcast. I'm just like, Harvey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least you've been staying safe, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what mattered, that we, you know, that my family and I stayed safe.
Is there any other Hapori member that lives near where the storm happened?
I think only Otto.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I the only one on the southern end of the United States?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Well, where does Naretta live?
We can't disclose that. It's just no.
I'll put it in chat. Never mind.
I at least said Texas, so.
Yeah.
I think that's good for that. Eljay, do you have any time to come up with any things you'd like to talk about?
Honestly, I don't really know what would really work here. Firstly, I'll say I'm glad that you're not directly in the path of the hurricane.
Thank you.
Glad that you're at least all right.
That means a lot.
Yeah. At least
Outside of that, though, I'll tell you this. Next time, I'll give you guys a story.
Okay.
I can't think of
There's going to be a next
too many.
time.
That's total. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's up to you guys. Can there be a next time?
Oh yeah. We're gonna...
Of course.
And there'll be a next time.
Sweet. Yes.
Eljay, you're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
You are
Thank
the
you very
man.
much.
You are the man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. It's been so much fun.
Yeah. But yeah, it's totally cool. You can have a story. It happens all the time. I mean, yeah. But look forward to next time. With that, should probably close the podcast. It's been going on for a while. I'd like to give so much thank you to Eljay. Thank you so much for being on. It's been an absolute honor, and you've been really cool to talk with. It means so much that you're interacting with us and everything. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you guys are having fun doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Eljay, I mean, you're in the group chat if you ever want to, just chat.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
No problem, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. It's been I'm having so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, it's been no
We're
problem.
glad to have you.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I wish you luck. We all wish you luck for your future. It's very uncertain right now. But I hope everything goes well. I'm sure it will. I'm sure you'll find ways to succeed. So yeah. But
Just let us know if you need any help.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much, guys.
No problem.
But
No problem.
So with that, thank you everyone for being on. It's been the Hapori Podcast, and I'll talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
See you later.